new development with, say, 1 acre lots or even smaller lots in the city?
I mean, I do think that we need to look at that. I think there are some ways that I understand that there are people who really feel like these 2 acre lots are what make lake country, and I get that. I personally, I live off of 83, and I know that there is a plot of land over there that is currently zoned for 2 acre lots, and I understand that the developers are kind of pushing back on those 2 acre lots. This is off of Highway 83. You know, it's not there. There's already a lot of development over on Highway 83. I don't think that if we were to look at that as a 1 acre lot area, that would really have a lot of impact on our lake country field, because this is already an area that is denser. And so I do think we need to look at this from a individual perspective, as opposed to looking at it for the entirety of lake country and the entirety of Delafield. So yes, I do think that we should be looking at some of these developments being a little bit lower in size.
Kent, your thoughts on affordability, housing affordability, smaller lot size?
Yeah, so in meetings that I've had, we define affordability for ownership at $300,000 or less. Used to be $250,000, but they've kind of increased it to $300,000 recently, trying to just be more practical with the market. And the city of Delafield has a diverse lot size within our community. There are a number of homes that you can buy, you might not know where they are, but in that $300,000, $250,000 area. We also have other properties that are selling for over $2 million, right, on residential properties. So we do have a diverse base that exists. So to say that people can't move here and live at that price range isn't true. You got to wait for them to come on the market, and they have to be available, right? As far as new development, all of our agricultural land is zoned for 2 acre minimum. And until the master plan is changed, and until the Common Council and the Planning Commission are willing to change the ordinances, that is going to be the rule and the direction that we give developers. Is this is a starting point. You can come in and ask for half acre, quarter acre, third acre, but here's the challenges that you're going to face. You know, and again, those developers can certainly make their application to the Planning Commission to get on the agenda, right? But I'll also tell you, in meeting with Paul Farrow and other mayors and town folks, it's not simple in our demographic. You know, we can build a quarter acre lot and zone it for quarter acre, but the market is going to drive the price over that $250, $300 strike price. They want properties in this area that have the granite countertops, that have the 2-car garage. They keep, even though developers try to keep the prices down, the market drives them up. So just reducing zoning is not a panacea to providing affordable housing, right? So I just want to be real clear on that. So what we are in favor of, and we have an example of it, the Mill Farm that's come in through Seaton, who is under development, is clustering. So here's a situation where we keep the zoning, the number of units the same, but they build them on smaller parcels and they cluster them together, basically creating more green space. And this is particularly useful in this particular location because of the topography. Some of the area really isn't available for development. It's about cost modeling, like I mentioned before. The applicant has to figure out how to make money, right? And this particular applicant thinks they have a plan to do that, and we're anxiously waiting for them to come forward, because I think it's a very interesting, great opportunity for another one for us to increase our tax base. So it's not just about changing lot sizes and the code to find affordable housing. There are other ways to do it as well.
So let me ask a related question to that, not necessarily focused on affordability and zoning, but generally attracting millennials and Generation Z folks to Delafield. Do you see that as a challenge that we have? And if so, do you have any ideas or strategies for making this a more attractive destination for young people?
Yeah, I mean, that, again, the answer I gave to the last question about how people want to pay more for things in our area. makes it a challenge for that, right? You're gonna have to move a little further away into the town of Delafield, into the village of Wales, into the city of Oconomowoc, where they're gonna have more of those opportunities for you. And here, when we build it, the price goes up. We can build condominiums, and they're just not gonna be, given the amount of debt many of them have and so forth, it's just a difficult thing to answer here in the city of Delafield. The real practical matter of it, and Paul Farrow agrees with me, they're gonna have to be a little further away than the city of Delafield and some of our very close surrounding communities, the village of Shaniqua being another example, right? So what we can do is look at increased development, certainly in the downtown area, not apartments, would not be in favor of apartments. We have apartments that exceed our 2030 comprehensive plan by a considerable margin. And what we can do is figure out how we can do condos. These are owner-occupied, lower-cost building units that we could have in downtown that may help be more in the price point of the millennials you're referring to.
Just a quick follow-up on that for you, Ken. Beyond just affordability, do you think there are other things about Delafield? Do you think that it's the cost that's really what makes it a challenge for younger people to come to Delafield, or do you think there are things beyond making it a more affordable destination that we might be doing to bringing fresh blood into the city?
Well, again, what I've understood from the experts that I've talked to and being in these meetings with, Tim Casey, who is going and talking to communities about this kind of thing all the time, and being in meetings with my counterparts, other mayors and so forth, and even Jay Mack agreed with basically the scenario that I just gave to you just now, who is the president of the town bank, that it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge. Doesn't mean we can't be creative and we can't try to find ways to do it. I'm just saying it's a challenge.
Sandra?
Hey Sandra, do you mind just pausing? I have to